Welcome to Mary Alice.
What did you do?
We are a Desperate Housewives recap podcast with me, Erin McGee.
And me, Jakob Tanzi. Two best friends breaking down each episode until we answer the ultimate question, Mary Alice, what did you do?
Unless, of course, we have finished season 1, in which case, insert new mystery here.
Yes, there's a lot to unpack on Wisteria Lane.
Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
So get comfortable and let's get into this week's episode. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back,
Welcome
Desperados.
back.
And hello again, Erin. It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days. I have nothing to say to you. We met up for coffee this morning. It was mainly silence. Like, oh,
Leave me alone.
God, you're suffocating me. It's very nice to see you again, so you can pick up your Sudafed.
Yes. Thank you.
Jakob leaves things at my house. It's so inconvenient. I don't know if you've seen a box of Sudafed, but it takes up so much space. How was your Halloween?
It was lovely. It was very nice.
You looked so good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got these like giant black contact lenses for sort of demon costume. They took a solid 50 minutes to put in because they're like wider than normal contact lenses.
Yeah.
And I don't wear contact lenses in general, so I was just like in the bathroom fighting for my life.
I will say that I find it weird, the concept of people using contact lenses for Halloween, because as a seasoned contact lens wearer myself, they're not easy to get used to.
I think once they were in, they were fairly comfortable.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. Although I remember years ago, I dressed up as Two-Face and I had one
Yes.
yellow contact, but I put it in backwards. And I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
Yeah.
And I was in agony all night.
Not good. You suffered for your art.
I was one of the first to arrive because I knew it would take a while to get ready. And
Mm-hmm.
so once I was ready, once people started coming in one at a time, I would like stand ominously in the corridor to try and scare them. And because of the way the
Yeah.
flat is set up, some of the walls are just fully mirrors. Like the whole wall is a mirror. And so this one guy in particular is really a scaredy cat. And he came in the front door and I was standing around the corner and he could sort of see the silhouette of my reflection. And he was just like straight up like, I'm not coming around the corner.
That would be me.
And then later he tried to scare someone else who came in, but he just scared himself.
Yep.
Like he opened the door and went, and then, because he got scared of the costume the person was dressed as. It was
That's
incredible.
cute. That's very cute.
We went to Kiki's at Leaf Arches and it was fine.
Yeah.
I had a lovely dance and the music was banging. So, you know, they had the basics, but there was only one tiny little bar and it was overcrowded. So I didn't even try and get a drink. I was like, I'm going to spend half my night here. So yeah, that was my night.
My mum phoned me yesterday. I didn't do anything for Halloween. I sat and watched Renfield. And 911. But
Just always assume 911 too.
just know that that's going on. But yesterday, my mum was talking to me. She phones me and she goes, "Do you have my cowboy boots?" I say, "Of course I do not, Maureen. Have you checked your house?" So basically, long story long, she has her cowboy boots. She was going
Thank
to
God.
Coyote Ugly, which is a bar that's newly opened in Edinburgh. And it's quite, I would say, not where you would expect your mother to go. And I was saying, I admitted something that I shouldn't have, which is you said you were going and I thought about going and then I decided I didn't want to. And she went, "Well, what are you doing instead?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to get ready and I'm going to go to a cafe and read my book." And she went, "Oh, Erin, I'm sorry that my life is boring." To a 65-year-old mother who's probably on a bull.
Woo! It's giving Edie.
It's giving you. But yeah, that's been my day. Oh, there was something that I said I wanted to talk to you about because it's so stupid.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I just wanted to gauge your reaction to it. I have discovered one of my really, really rubbish superpowers.
Okay.
And it is that we were talking about McDonald's at work in my office of people that I have known for over a year now.
You can predict everyone's orders.
Yes.
Incredible.
I thought I'd maybe already told you this, but with the way I was bang on with people, and then I told somebody else that I could do this, and she was like, "That's ridiculous." And I went, "Mayo chicken," and she just looked at me like, "Oh my God, how does she know?"
What's my order?
Whatever you fancy in the moment. I can't predict your order because your order is always like, I'm going to say whatever's newest on the menu to have a little go of.
You're not wrong.
What's my order?
Oh, well, you're getting a cheeseburger.
I'm getting a double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
What did you think of this episode?
George features a lot in this episode. He makes me so deeply and viscerally uncomfortable.
Yes.
So much to the point where I feel like I just want to hide in my t-shirt and not watch his scenes. However, there were some very entertaining moments as a result.
I found this one hard to watch. I did want to flag before we got into the episode that the Applewhites do not feature in this episode. And I think it is evidence of season 2. The main mystery of the Applewhites is in fact not main to the show, which is more of an observation than a criticism.
True. When we recorded the last episode, something I meant to say was when we were talking about Susan's arc, which we mixed in with the Applewhites arc, so it was all together. I was like, now how is Susan in it again? Because the main mystery in season 1 was all connected to Susan. And now I'm like, why is she getting involved in this again? I really didn't think she would be getting mixed up with it. I don't think she does as the season goes on, but yeah, that's what I was thinking last week.
I do think after the first season has somewhat aired, and all of these actresses were super successful anyway, but I do think Terry Hatcher was kind of pinned as the main character, and I think we see evidence of that. But I actually think in later seasons it becomes more
Bree.
Marcia Cross. Yeah.
I think even if memory serves, it's Bree gets more entangled with the Applewhite storyline than any of the other ladies. Plus, her plotline with George is a big focus of the season. So I would argue she's a co-main character with Susan this season.
Yes, that makes sense.
Because Susan and Mike maintain the central relationship to focus on. So she also earns that main character status again.
Yeah, Susan and Mike remain our Ross and Rachel. And much like Ross and Rachel annoy me.
Yeah, both Susan and Bree are equally center snowflakes, as they would say in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Center snowflakes. Could you explain very briefly to people who may not watch Salt
Very
Lake?
briefly. So basically in every Housewives franchise, Real Housewives, not Desperate Housewives, they have the opening credits, and at the end there's a shot of all the women standing in a line, and they're always holding something that symbolizes their city or state or whatever that it's set in.
Exactly like the intro from Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, so New York, it's an apple because it's the big apple. Georgia, it's a peach. Beverly Hills, it's a diamond. But in this one, in Salt Lake City, it's a snowflake. And basically, if you're standing in the center of the cast, you're the center snowflake. You're the star of the season.
Yeah.
It's aspirational to be center snowflake. You're the edges. Oh, girl, you're at risk of being fired.
Yeah. You're on your way. What do you think? You're going to hate this question. Real Housewives of Edinburgh. What are they holding?
A little...
Haggis.
No. It's a little colourful Highland cow.
They're holding a can of Iron Brew. No, that's awful.
It would be something tartan, maybe. A little tartan something.
A ski and do.
Maybe a little Scotty dog.
I would love it if, for Scotland, they're all playing the bagpipes.
It's a requirement.
It's a requirement in the intro. There is. I'm center bagpipe.
The person at the back just playing the tenor bagpipe, That was me with the tenor saxophone in high school. It was so boring because you just play the sort of background beat. You don't get any of the actual melody. It's so boring. So what did I think of this episode? It was fine.
I don't like the title at all.
No, the title is My Heart Belongs to Daddy.
Yeah.
I understand that there's a theme of fathers in this episode. Kind of.
But even then it's loose.
Yeah, the voiceover talks about it, but it feels very we're really forcing it in here, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is only season 2. They can't have run out of songs related to fathers.
Yeah, we could have had I will be your father, fear.
Maybe that's the style we need to sing the theme song in to do. And we'll get there. We'll work on it in the next few minutes.
Yeah, thank you. And I've got a little pitch pipe that Edie gave me.
I'd like my pitch pipe back, please.
I might start saying that unprovoked.
I can't wait. Calling all desperados.
Are you enjoying the pod?
Want to access our episodes early and support Erin and I to keep the show running?
Well, now you can.
Over at patreon.com/modded, you can support the show for as little as £3 a month.
Why, Jakub, that's less than the price of the coffees that keep us coherent during records.
Truly, no joke. You can get a shout out from us here, access episodes a whole day earlier than everyone else, and even get access to occasional bonus watch along episodes.
Ooh.
We're aiming for monthly.
But no pressure. Seriously.
We love you either way.
It's just there if you're looking for a way to show your appreciation and help us keep doing what we do.
Want to support the show for free? Tell a friend.
Tell your mother.
Tell your aunt who you know loves Desperate Housewives.
Tell your therapist.
Tell your ex-boyfriend.
No, do not break no contact. But tell anyone who might enjoy our ramblings.
And leaving a review helps more than you know.
We love you, desperados.
That's patreon.com/modded. MAWDYD.
Now, back to the episode.
Mary Alice voiceover tells us about how all of the inmates at the prison Carlos is being held in look forward to Tuesdays because that is when Gabby comes to visit, and we see them thirst over her as she walks down what can only be described as the prison catwalk.
It's great.
There's basically, it's like two areas of prisoners on either side, fenced, and like a narrow corridor walkway that we see Gabby walking down. And let me tell you, we really do get a fashion show here as we see a montage of Gabby getting more and more frustrated with the inmates as she walks down the catwalk in various outfits, good and very much bad.
Well, the outfits, we've seen her in all of them, apart from the final one.
Have we seen her in that yellow one with the little glasses?
I think we've seen her. The yellow one was last episode.
With the glasses?
I don't know if she was wearing the glasses with it.
Because the glasses sold it to me. She has these tiny little tinted glasses, and I was honestly obsessed with them.
But I remember the top very vividly, and I remember last episode she was wearing yellow because I was being obsessed with everything being lime. And I was like, is that yellow or is it lime?
Fair. Now, a hill that I will absolutely die on
is that Gabby doesn't suit red.
Thank you.
I knew
red
you were going to say that.
Red is not her color. That outfit is not good on her.
This is the episode. If last episode was the episode of the lime, this is the episode of the hat.
Is hat your monster of the week? Is headwear your monster of the week?
No, I have a proper monster of the week this week.
Oh, exciting. Okay, so we eventually see her walking down the catwalk with Carlos's lawyer, very much trying to pressure him to arrange a conjugal visit for them.
Which is wild.
Well, I guess she's just really horny now that she's committed to being faithful to Carlos. She doesn't have that fantasy anymore.
Well, we do know that she was fantasizing last episode, and it's been 5 months.
Since the last episode?
No, it's been 5 months since Carlos went to jail.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It is said later in the episode.
I don't know if that timeline works.
Let me tell you, it doesn't.
Okay, well,
most of the timelines don't work.
Yeah, we're going to roll with it. The lawyer is kind of mean to her and even makes a dig at her referring to John the Child Gardener, to which Gabby slaps him.
Yep.
And when the lawyer gets like particularly antagonistic towards her, the inmates start heckling the lawyer and start smacking him with, I think, brooms.
Yeah, I think it's brooms.
Through the fence, much to Gabby's satisfaction.
Yes. We sound okay, so just to clarify, both of our sexy noises for that sound like we're in pain.
Oh, we'll get to sexy noises later in the episode.
So you're gonna be like, we'll get to pain, because we'll get to both of those things.
I mean, truly, that scene is both pain and pleasure. So we'll get there. So
Susan and Mike kiss. There's actually a really cute transition to the beginning of this arc, but she's got this little tinfoil leftover. We find out that it's ribs. She kisses Mike, and it's a pig. And then she says, we're not brother and sister. Why are brother and sisters kissing on the mouth? I really hated that line. Also, this is I would say everyone feels very, the libidos are high on the lane this episode is how I would put it. Susan is saying to Mike, you should come by and, maybe they're going to hook up. And Mike is saying, we're still not worked out what we are. Susan's saying it's casual, it's fun, it's super chill, except neither of them are allowed to date anybody else.
Obviously. One thing about this episode, actually, there was a lot of contenders for quote of the week.
Yes, there was. I know exactly which one you're going to talk about, Lindsay. So I'm not mad at how Mike responds to this. He's basically saying the jig is up. I'm over this. Either we're doing this thing and we're incorporating Zach into both of our lives in some way, or we just shouldn't be together because this is all messy. And Susan immediately caves.
Full 180 from last episode.
My reading of it genuinely, and it's quite crass, but it is that Susan is so thirsty for Mike in this moment that she is willing to accept anything. Once Susan is back in it and they seem not casual anymore, they're closing things off, their psyche is back. Mike mentions that he can come back to Susan's house and she says, I can be naked in 20 seconds. That includes travel time.
Phenomenal line. So in the next scene, we have some pink on pink violence. Edie approaches Susan as she's putting up sort of missing persons posters for Zach. Edie has now learned that Zach is Mike's son, and she's basically here to poke around and make Susan feel uncomfortable. Edie's whole thing this season seems to be, I'm just going to annoy Susan, and that's my whole personality. Which
is one of those things, this is what I was talking about before in previous episodes. Like, I feel like we're not getting Edie right at the moment.
And I'm seeing that more and more as the episodes go on.
Yeah.
But they're both wearing pink outfits, and Edie's is clearly superior.
Yeah, Susan's is like Terry Hatcher's flesh color almost. So it looks a wee bit like you're seeing her, and it's got rips down the middle. It's like you can see her organs. Whereas Edie is wearing a great hat.
Yes.
A super chunky of its time belt.
Very good, very good.
And she's just, I really like Edie in pink.
And through this interaction, it becomes obvious that Susan is back onto team Let's Find Zach because she's of the mind that they're not actually going to find him. And so she can still come off well to Mike.
I love Edie calling her out on that. Edie really understands her.
Yeah, and then Edie literally says, well, she first calls her a conniving little shrew, but then she questions why they're not closer.
And they're not closer because Susan doesn't admit that kind of thing.
Yes.
I think it's interesting that Edie says she knows about Zach because Julie told Carl and Carl told Edie. And Edie says, and then I sent out a few emails.
And yet none of the main ladies know about this, we come to learn later.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's purely to wind her up. I think Edie's kept it completely to herself. The only person I can see her possibly telling that information to is Felicia. And we know that Felicia doesn't know that information yet.
And Ida, they have a group email chain. Because they don't have a group WhatsApp text
No,
yet,
they don't. They have an email. A group email thread is so good. And all of
what would their emails be? Because Ida's would be like...
it's not easy being Greenberg at AOL.com.
You came up with that so fast. Oh my God. This is why you get the off-the-cuff questions and I don't. Because I would just be like, Ida at Gmail.
Gmail wasn't even around back then, Yaku. Come on. It's AOL. I sense in immediately that Felicia has a Yahoo. I feel
it's giving yahoo.com.
It's giving yahoo.com. But it's something that's like, I don't know, it's called like, it's not her name because it's something like Shawls and Secrets at yahoo.com. It's something that's a little bit.
It's not easy being Greenberg episode title. Completely irrelevant to the episode.
She's not
it's
in
a
this
good time. Well, let's be honest. We've already peaked in this episode now,
exactly.
comedy-wise. So I'm just pretending. That's not true. Keep listening, please.
Don't leave us. What do you think Edie's is?
I'm not good at this, Erin.
I think it's something like Susan Mayer's a slut. And she at msn.com. The next scene, Susan and Mike are on two different adventures. Mike is genuinely trying to look for Zach. Susan has deluded herself into thinking it's a very romantic date. She's in this weird fantasy where she's like, I'm just happy to be spending the day with you. We think that Mike's son is homeless and troubled and has a mental disorder that has been diagnosed, and he is not currently being medicated for. But you're right, Susie Q. This is an adorable little date for you and Mike. I'm glad you're back together.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that just so aspirational? Like, get some matching outfits, go to the park, look for your estranged homeless son.
Get ready with me while we go and find my estranged homeless son. So, Susan isn't trying particularly hard when the two of them split up to find Zach. She is doing it, I would say, without real motivation. In fact, she then goes and decides to get ice cream for her and Mike.
She wants to get it back on the date vibes track.
Exactly. So she's like, it'll be cute. We'll get some ice cream together. We'll not find Zach amongst the other homeless teenagers that are in this park. Very cute. So I had a moment where I knew where this scene was going to go, only because Susan was wearing white.
Oh.
She ordered the ice cream, and I immediately knew exactly what was going to go on here. So she's saying to the ice cream man, because she doesn't have any hand left to hand out the posters, could you just like hand those out? And he goes, the boy in question, I think, is right behind you. So she finds Zach, tries to chase him down. Unfortunately, as we know, Zach is a runner. Zach is a track star. Zach is speedy.
But Susan will catch up to him because it's not the night.
It is not the night. He does better at night.
Yeah.
He doesn't do well with solar charge. So Susan is running. Ice cream is going everywhere, all over Susan's white top.
Classic Susan slapstick moment.
Exactly. I'm so proud of you for saying that again.
Thank you.
Basically, she approaches Zach. Zach picks up a giant plank of wood and is like, nah! Like what you would do with a bear. And she loses Zach.
I think she panics and runs away from Zach.
Yeah. Which is fair enough.
If someone's threatening you with a big plank.
Well, he's got priors. I mean, we saw the state Felicia was in. She can't, I think the cruelest thing Zach has done, and will continue to do on the course of the series, is stop Felicia from wearing her shawls.
Truly.
Because she has to wear that neck brace.
Truly horrific. I think as well, like Susan chased him instinctively.
Yes.
It was like fight or flight. There was no thought put into it. And only when she was kind of threatened with the plank, that's when she actually was like, oh yeah, this guy held me at gunpoint.
Yeah. She's like, Zach, you're ruining our date. She goes back to Mike. She is covered in ice cream, and she lies and says to Mike, oh, I got us both ice cream, but I got hungry and I ate it all. What am I like? And Mike just looks at her like, oh, that's my Susan.
You can tell she's very much thinking on the fly, because I think it feels like when she runs back to him, she's coming back to say, I found Zach.
Yeah.
And just in the moment decides, actually, we're just going to go on with this date.
I find this arc quite interesting for Susan, actually. As much as she frustrates me in it, I do think Susan being confronted with this idea that season 1, Mike doesn't get a lot of character development. And he does feel a little bit like a fantasy, I think. And then we have that beautiful moment where she realizes he's still in love with his ex-wife, and it's never mentioned again. But I think she had him as this kind of blank canvas. He was this unattached man. He, in her head,
no baggage.
No baggage. And now we're at the practicalities, and here is the baggage.
The honeymoon period is over, baby.
Yeah, and they've not even moved in yet.
So we cut to Susan catching up the main characters.
In the minging low ponytail. I hate her in that low ponytail.
It's a bad time. And the women are gagged. Well, and Lynette's not there, actually. It's Bree and Gabby. And the women are gagged as they literally didn't know that Mike is Zach's dad, etc. And Susan wants their advice. Gabby calls Zach a freak, but clearly Susan doesn't respect Gabby's opinion because she completely ignores her and looks to Bree for advice. She's like, I came here to see Bree. You're just here, Gabby.
Oh, I totally read it differently, which is interesting. I read it as she heard Gabby's opinion and that's what she wanted. She wanted the girls to endorse her behavior and her choices. But then Bree's quiet.
Yeah. It's kind of giving like disappointed mother.
Yes. And she's like, wait, what's going on? And Bree makes a plea for Zach's happiness. And I think it's really lovely, especially when we saw before that Bree does care about Zach.
Yeah. And she reminds her that it's Mary Alice's son. And Mary Alice was their friend and they should care about this. And that, you know, they have to believe that he'd be better off here than on the streets, which is true.
It's so true. And he has, at this point, he has done horrible things, but he's been dealt a really horrible hand as well.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. Mm-hmm. In our next scene, Zach is duct taping his foot together because he's injured. He hurt it running from Susan. Susan approaches and agrees to buy him lunch. And Zach is devouring that food. It's clear he hasn't eaten in a little while.
Yeah. Susan approaches him with much calmer energy this time.
Yes. And Susan says that he shouldn't go looking for Paul. He should come home to the lane where people care about him.
Well, first of all, she tells him that Paul is alive. Well, because at this point, Zach still thinks that Mike killed him.
That's very true. And he's kind of like, he's eating. And he's like, are you sure? Once she kind of floats the idea of him coming back to the lane, his mind goes straight to Julie and a reconciliation with Julie, which I think understandably gets Susan extremely defensive. And she completely changes tactic because she's in protective mode of Julie. So she says, you know what, actually, you were right the first time. You should go looking for Paul. And do you want some money?
Yeah, well, he says something like, oh, I just need some money to get a bus to Utah or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's fully 180'd her intent coming into the scene. But I think she was so focused on the Mike, Zach, father-son dynamic that she kind of forgot a bit about the Julie-Zach dynamic.
Yes.
And that's kind of like triggered her to remembering all that. So I do think I understand her in the scene, even though she's wrong for doing this.
Yes, I think I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
Good take.
Excellent. And that's Susan.
And that's Susan.
We'll come to the consequences of her lying at a later date. So we're back in our favorite jail visiting room. Can't get enough. Carlos is mad at Gabby for inciting a riot, he says, which is insane, as she was literally just talking with the lawyer. Mm-hmm. Gabby wants this conjugal visit sorted because their marriage is still on shaky ground. They've always bickered, but before it would be followed up with great sex. Now that Carlos is in jail, they just bicker.
Yes.
And Gabby notices that she's caused a bit of a scene at this moment and looks around, giving another contender for quote of the week by saying, oh, don't judge me. You're not in here because you got caught helping the poor. Just, stunning work. Stunning work.
I was surprised that Carlos was agreeing to this in a lot of ways. I understand that he is in jail. He has not had presumably much physical contact in the last 5 months. His wife is beautiful, etc. But it does feel like he's starting to put the John situation behind him from what we can see. He accepted the apology. He's open to being physical with her again. Intriguing.
I didn't find it that intriguing. I was like, he's a man in jail. He's getting horny. This is the horny episode. It all fits for me.
In our next scene, we meet the lawyer called David Bradley. And
the most vanilla name we've ever had on this show. Definitely,
but it does follow an important rule that my friend taught me, which is you should never trust someone whose last name could be a first name.
Fair. I see that.
So, I did notice in the title of the scene, Jakub, you have said, "Is the lawyer hot?" And I have some follow-up thoughts in advance.
It's the horny episode, Erin.
I do think the lawyer is attractive.
Okay.
But I'm starting to wonder if I am converting you into an older man, Ada. we see David Bradley as someone who seems to consistently be sleeping with a lot of his women clients. Mm-hmm. And then he comes out in these slutty little glasses.
Oh, yeah. Big episode for glasses, too.
Big episode for glasses. This is huge for glasses. Glasses and hats. We're doing like, we're trying to play Guess Who. Like,
are you playing the season 2 episode 4 edition of Guess Who? Yes, I am.
I hate gay Halloween. What do you mean you're season 2 episode 4
Guess Who?
So he's there. And do you recognize this actor? Because I know him.
I vaguely recognize him, but I certainly not to the point where I was like, oh, I've seen him in something.
Did you watch Heroes?
No.
Why on earth did you not watch season 1 of Heroes? He plays Nathan.
Great.
His name is Adrian Pastar.
Sounds like pasta.
It does sound like pasta. It's a much more interesting name than David Bradley. So he comes in, slightly little glasses, which is the item of clothing that won me over. Apparently, I really like glasses. Gabby is speaking to David Bradley, who does not want to take the case. He is saying he cannot help her. She says, "Is this about the gay bashing thing?" And then they have the following conversation, which I really enjoy. I think it sums up Gabby in a nutshell. David Bradley says, "Can I be frank?" And Gabby says, "Only if it ends in me getting what I want."
That's Gabby.
David says that the marriage is doomed. And we know this already, to be honest. I mean, it does feel like, duh. And that's all I have on this scene.
I don't know if I agree with that, though, because they both consistently acknowledge, like, yeah, we're terrible. Yeah, we're shitty people. And they're made for each other that way. And they kind of know that.
I think I am slightly clouded by knowing what comes next.
So, David Bradley leaves Gabby a voicemail, which I'm going to quote directly. David Bradley says, "Your marriage to Carlos? Gnarly."
Yeah, good.
He says gnarly. And it cracked me up so much.
I have also written down that he mentions gnarly. He also says that the marriage will have mass casualties. Well, yes, people have died because of this marriage.
Oh, he's basically being passive aggressive by offering to suggest some divorce lawyers to her and stuff.
Yeah.
And this, I think, was all just a ploy to antagonize Gabby into coming in to yell at him.
Correct.
So that he can hit on her. And I actually think it's clear in this moment that it's his typical sort of playbook like pattern to turn down potential and attractive clients, sort of playing hard to get. And that's just the start of his flirting, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think his technique is to turn anger into passion.
Yeah.
With women who don't have access to their partners, who are maybe feeling incredibly vulnerable. He is predatory in that regard.
Yeah. But basically, when she reveals she's pregnant, he immediately loses interest. Even though she still looks incredible. As you've said before, there's not a baby bump to be seen.
But what's weird is, I think Gabby declines the drink at first. And she doesn't say it's because she's pregnant. She says because she likes to have a clear head when she tells people off. And
it's like she's still in denial she's pregnant, kind of.
I think there's a little bit of that.
I think until she starts having physical changes, it makes sense that she would be in denial of it.
But she has had physical changes. We've seen it. She had crazy morning sickness. Because she was going to go be sick on Mama Salisa's grave. Yeah. Remember?
But the only other notable point about the scene is that by the end of it, he does eventually agree to take Gabby's case or Carlos's case.
Yeah, she haggles his price down though, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
Our next scene, I don't know why I'm so uncomfortable I'm a grown woman. Carlos and Gabby are having intercourse. They are in, it's like a caravan. I don't know how this works.
I think it's a caravan in the prison because it'll be the only place someone can have privacy for something like this.
Right, okay. So they're in a Butlins level squeaky caravan. And we see them, I guess she is saying, are you ready to go? And Carlos is already stripped off because he's extremely ready to go.
Do you think Susan could be ready faster, including travel time?
How quickly do we think Carlos and Susan together could be prepared for intimacy? We then cut to them after the fact. And Carlos is ready for round 2. And she's saying, do you think our marriage will last? Clearly the lawyer's words have gone to her. And Carlos says that he understands now. And when he gets out, he will be different, and tries to reassure her. This bit is, I'm flagging this and I have no basis for this. Carlos asks how Gabby likes the new lawyer and if Gabby likes him. And I think the writers were leaving it open in this moment for him to be a future love interest.
Yeah, because she kind of doesn't want to answer and deflects with more sex.
Yes.
But I don't think there was ever a moment before this that it seemed Gabby was interested in him.
No.
And so it did feel quite random. And I don't think it comes back in that regard.
I think they changed their minds, but he is quite flirty. He is quite a big actor. And I think this might have been round about when Heroes was out. This was kind of the big part of his career. And there is a little bit of chemistry that we can see between them. And I wonder if they were considering going down this route, so wanting to leave it open.
I think just plot-wise, I'm going to choose to believe Gabby didn't want to talk about a man flirting with her so soon after the whole John the Child Gardener thing, and that she's hired a lawyer who clearly has the hots for her, knowing how jealous Carlos is.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come up again, so I can choose to believe that and no one can stop me.
I think that is a good take to have, and I think that's definitely what this scene means now, knowing that it doesn't go any further.
Yeah.
It could be definitely that we know Carlos is jealous. She's already gotten rid of another lawyer. She doesn't want to have to go looking for another one.
And she's talked about how fragile their marriage is, so she doesn't want to provoke any more potential tensions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
And that's Gabby. Mariela's voiceover is talking about fathers and their ability to come home from work without feeling guilty about the precious moments with their kids that they've missed out on, but that the same can't be said for working mothers. And with this, we see Lynette come home late from work and checking in on the kids in their bedroom, but they're already asleep. And then we cut to Lynette getting dinner from Tom, worrying about all of this. And it kind of just, I thought I'd flag as well, it kind of looks like Tom has the whole stay-at-home dad thing much more under control now. The place is clean, the kids are asleep, dinner's ready. I think don't know about you, but I certainly expected more of an extended plot line on Tom struggling with that.
I think Tom is by far the best partner in this episode.
Yes.
I think
100%.
This is what I want from Tom.
This is huge for my dad listening right now.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tansy, you and I, we're gonna go for a cup of coffee and talk about this episode. Because the house is clean, he is supportive, but he also knows his own abilities. He's talking about the kids, he's clearly taking a lot of interest in the kids' lives, and he never lets Lynette guilt herself for going back to work.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah, and I think season 2 is actually probably peak Tom. Because, first of all, I think that although he didn't really give Lynette much of a choice, him becoming a stay-at-home dad was absolutely the right call.
Yes.
Clearly with the lack of pressure and stress, probably because he wasn't as good at the job, has just allowed him so much more mental capacity to be there for Lynette, I guess. And it's before he completely throws their life out of whack in the next season again.
Spoilers!
Well, I'm not going to say specifically what, but yeah. So I think this is the most we're going to enjoy from Tom this season. So get ready for an easy ride for Tom.
I was so shocked this episode with Tom that I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it didn't. And I was just like,
Well,
how am I going to rank Tom? Like, have I ever given Tom more than a 7?
Well, I was like watching this, and the whole time I was like, I think Tom's like really good in this episode. And the whole time I was thinking, how is Aaron going to twist this to sounding bad? And I kept trying to interpret it from a different perspective to try and imagine what you were going to say.
This is the thing. That assumes that my hatred of Tom is unjustified, but he's great here.
Yeah, totally. So Lynette finds out through this conversation that Parker has an imaginary friend, Mrs. Mulberry, a British nanny. It's giving Mary Poppins.
It was very Mary Poppins.
He's like spooning an umbrella in bed. It's very intense.
It's very camp. Also,
Yeah.
why is she married? Where's her husband? Where's Mr. Mulberry? I would like to know.
Well, we won't find out. They discuss it, and it's clear that it's a coping mechanism for Parker, adjusting to the new dynamic with his parents, but it very much leaves Lynette feeling pretty insecure, like she's doing a bad job as a mother, that he's having to conjure up this imaginary other mother figure.
I think it actually shows quite a secure attachment style from Parker with Lynette previously, in that he saw her as this woman, this maternal figure who would always be there. So to replace her in his mind, he's had to come up with this like omnipresent woman who is always there.
Yeah.
The British part is hilarious.
That's just for fun.
That one's just for kicks. Did you have an imaginary friend?
No.
Okay.
Just a matter of fact. Did you?
I had fake ones. Like,
Okay.
I fully knew they were imaginary. Because I was insane, but I was kind of like, how come everyone else gets an imaginary friend? I had one called Charlie,
Okay.
and I remember I cut my own fringe. She's always on brand. I cut my own fringe, and it was really bad. And my Uncle Martin said, I'm going to go over to Charlie's house, and I'm going to batter him. And I went, no, Martin, no. There's ghosts in that house. And he was like, who is this kid? Yeah, it was either Charlie or Sean. I can't remember what the name was. And there was another time where I remember really vividly trying really, really, really hard to conjure an imaginary friend and being like,
manifest.
yeah. And he ran out my back garden gate and ran away from me.
R.I.P. The one that got away.
R.I.P. Barney. His name was Barney. I remember that one. You always forget the toxic ones. I mean, you always remember the toxic ones. What's wrong with it today? But also, what's really funny is that Parker has insisted that Tom has made Mrs. Mulberry dinner.
Yes, there's a whole plate of pasta there. And Lynette's a bit salty because Mrs. Mulberry got a bigger portion than her.
Which I too would be salty about. But I love that he has dinner ready for her. Even the way he's communicating with her, he's like, I tried to keep the kids up late, but it just wasn't going to be feasible for us. Oh, I was like, this is a new man.
Truly.
And you know what? Again, I'm not saying that I am very attracted to personalities predominantly. The most attractive he's ever been to me. Lynette, clearly acting out of guilt, tries to wake up Parker we should clarify Parker is the good one.
Yes.
We're giving him his actual name this episode because he has a plot.
He deserves to be named.
He deserves his name. Lynette is trying to wake up Parker in advance to get donuts before Lynette goes to work, which in my head means they're in the suburbs, so this must be like 6:30 in the morning.
Well, I mean, Parker's not wanting to wake up. It's unnecessary early.
How early is this? Parker doesn't want Lynette to forget Mrs. Mulberry for their trip for donuts. He says he needs her. So Lynette goes and gets her and puts her in the car. Unfortunately, Lynette has forgot to bring Mrs. Mulberry's umbrella. Mrs. Mulberry needs the umbrella. Lynette runs back into the house, and Tom is not helping, but it's very playful and very funny. She can't find the umbrella, but instead comes out with Mrs. Mulberry's sun hat again. A hat. Parker's like, oh, Mrs. Mulberry's umbrella is in the shower. She needs it. Lynette loses it. Because she's already going to be late for work. She's doing her best to make this effort with Parker. And Parker is not having an aggressive mummy. No. Parker and Mrs. Mulberry leave. He even opens the door for Mrs. Mulberry to get her out of the car.
So cute. So cute. Lynette is called into Parker's school. It seems Tom is taking Penny to the pediatrician, which is why she's there instead of him.
Yep. Thank you, plot, for making that feasible.
Basically,
You're making sure I'm not mad at Tom. Be like, why is Tom not there?
Then they look at the camera and wink at you, Erin.
Yeah.
Basically, Parker has rammed a teacher with Mrs. Mulberry's umbrella when they couldn't accommodate an extra desk for his imaginary friend. Mm-hmm. They start grilling Lynette about what's going on at home to cause this behavior, wondering if there's been a death in the family, if it's the result of deep-seated sadness. I'm like, okay, therapist. Eventually, Lynette just starts crying. But it's funny because they're playing funny music, I guess. So it's not too sad.
They definitely play it less tragic and more comedic with the teacher who's had Mrs. Mulberry's attack awkwardly handing her tissues. Also, Lynette looks great here.
Yeah, she always looks great in her work outfits.
Yes. Our next scene. I love Tom here. I shocked myself with it. Even the way, I mean, it's not okay, but even the way he's talking about Mrs. Mulberry's attack on the teacher, he's like, it was a poke. He poked her. Lynette is very upset and goes extremely aggressively on the dishwasher. Tom's idea to get rid of Mrs. Mulberry, to restore Parker and Lynette's relationship a little bit, is that he read an article in a magazine about hugs and how children need 10 hugs a day. He then proceeds to hug Lynette. And she's reluctant at first, but it does comfort her. And it's just nice, Jakob. I'm so sorry. Cute. I've got nothing bad to say about Scavo this episode.
It's so cute. Initially, Lynette kind of scoffs at him like, hugs, that's your big idea. Mm-hmm. But then when he hugs her, he's like, it's working, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's so cute.
This is them at their best.
Yeah.
When he is dependable and she is chaotic. When she has to be dependable because he's chaotic, it does not work. Oh, loved it.
So then Lynette goes to speak to Parker before bed, now that she's feeling a bit more calmed down, I guess. He's in bed being read to by Mrs. Mulberry. Lynette reminds Parker that it's just as hard for her to be away from him, and that even when she's not there, her love for him is real, unlike Mrs. Mulberry, who isn't. Parker ain't buying it, though.
No.
And he goes to bed angry, and Lynette leaves upset.
Poor Lynette. It made me sad. This episode is, again, the entire family's at their best here. It's
because the twins are not doing anything.
Yeah, we do see them very briefly when Lynette is running around trying to get Mrs. Mulberry's umbrella, and they're just chilling. I have noticed, and this is actually maybe... This is just an observation. I'm sure it's not real. The twins seem to be being better behaved.
Ooh. Oh, tea.
From what we can see.
From what we can see.
From the very brief things we've seen. Oh, I'm so glad that I get to talk about the scene. In the next scene, Lynette decides to make an assassination attempt on Mrs. Mulberry's life.
The Mulberry murders.
The Mulberry murders. Mid-Mulberry murders. The Mulberry murders is so good.
Oh my God, episode title. The Mulberry murders.
The Mulberry murder. Everyone's like, what is it? So, Lynette takes the umbrella, puts it in the bin. It's trash pickup time. It's put in the bag. But Mrs. Mulberry makes a miraculous escape. And she's back onto the street. She's open. She's ready.
I feel like this is a plot line from 911. Someone gets crushed by a trash compactor,
No, I think that happened.
But then turns up in the next episode. Is it Mrs. Mulberry?
I'm not kidding. I think that happens. That somebody's like, I'm in the trash. Yeah.
I believe it.
So, Lynette, meanwhile, is in the house. Parker cannot find Mrs. Mulberry. She tries to do the logic at the end of Nanny McPhee, which is also kind of Mary Poppins-y, of Mrs. Mulberry left to help another boy. Spencer, who doesn't have a mummy and daddy. He's an orphan with no hands.
With no hands is crazy detail. Oh my God, I was howling. And I didn't clock that on my first watch, but when I did my second watch, I was crying.
And Tom is looking at Lynette like, I chose this woman. I married this woman. However, the family go outside and Mrs. Mulberry is there. She's on the street. The people rejoice and sing. +1 to the car accident count. Mrs. Mulberry is hit, and I would describe it as a hit and run.
Yes.
And Tom wants to call 911. But Lynette's like, no, she's holding Parker.
Gone.
Yeah, she's holding Parker, comforting him, and it's like, bye-bye, Mulberry.
+1 to the death count.
+1 to the death count.
R.I.P.
+1 to car accident, +1 to death. R.I.P. Mrs. Mulberry. I can't believe Mr. Mulberry's a widow.
Crazy. Now, I just want to flag for when we get to it at the end, but Lynette is fine in this scene. She's a little bit kind of just buzzing secretly that Mrs. Mulberry's gone.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that. Bree is giving George, the incel, a goodnight kiss on the forehead after a dinner date. Even more than Susan and Mike had when they were being casual with their little peck on the lips.
When they were being brother and sister.
Even less, sorry.
They were being very brother and sister.
Andrew is taking out the trash and he's hovering.
Mm-hmm.
Bree invites George to come over for dinner, and after a few seconds of awkward silence, Andrew's basically just like, okay, bye-bye now. There's a sort of awkward macho back and forth between Andrew and George, like, I'll go when I want kind of thing.
But also Andrew gets it right when he's saying, my mum said it's getting late. And that is her polite way of saying she wants you to go. And even though Bree's going, Andrew, we later find it is.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious to anyone. But the words are exchanged and they eventually start shoving each other. It's really quite childish.
Yeah, he says, George says, it's okay. He's not really that tough. He knows I'd never hit a child.
3 seconds later.
Cue fight. Also, Andrew's wearing a really good jumper. I really like Andrew's jumper in this episode. It's kind of festive.
No headwear though. Where's it at?
Where's the hat? Where's the beanie?
So Bree puts a stop to it. The evening is ruined, but she does let them know that she will be serving fish at the aforementioned dinner.
May I make an observation about this?
Of course.
We're getting really into the deep analysis now. What happened to the veal? I think this is showing how Bree is not herself in her grief and that she is not cooking veal.
Well, do you think veal was one of Rex's favourite dishes and now that he's gone?
Perhaps. It's his favourite veal. Also, I want to acknowledge that she is still in her mourning bun, but instead of black, she is wearing a very dark green.
Yes, we're transitioning out, baby.
We're transitioning out. She thinks everybody loves green. I do think it's interesting as well that the color she's chosen to wear, I think they're doing a slow kind of, they're upping the saturation type of thing. It's not black, it's like the closest thing to black. I wonder if we will see her at any point. Is it blue, she says, is Rex's favorite color?
Interesting.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. Did we ever find out what Andrew's favorite color is?
Gay. Rainbow.
He likes all the colors equally.
It's like Severance. Please try to enjoy all colors equally.
Okay. Is your quote of the week in this scene?
Maybe.
Oh.
My quote of the week is really stupid this episode.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's going to be what you think it is.
Okay.
Bree is seeing Andrew go out the door. Andrew is wearing a casual ripped t-shirt, which to Bree is a crime. The mask is fully off of the perfect child thing in Andrew's grief. We said it last episode. It's back this episode.
I did find that interesting, yeah.
He is mean to Bree, I think it's fair to say. But I love that he calls George, my quote of the week.
Oh, okay.
So simple. The town nerd.
Oh, okay.
It was between that and you conniving little shrew. I don't know why we're not closer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think in this moment, as much as Andrew's being petulant, I don't think...
He's being petulant, but he's being real.
Yes. And obviously we know information about George that Bree doesn't yet, but... this is going to sound horrible, but... No, you go now.
I was going to say, well, we also know that Bree is so naive. Part of me is like, are you willfully looking past things with George?
Maybe. I think we have it established in this episode that it's been only a month since Rex's passing.
But 5 months since Carlos was in jail.
I don't think that grief has a timeline. But I do think this relationship is too fast. Maybe not necessarily for Bree, even though I do think it is, but certainly for the family.
Yes.
Andrew is saying basically there is no way he's going to have that dinner with George. And I completely get it. Their Friday night family dinners were such an important part of the Van de Kamp family. We saw so many dinner scenes with all of them.
Despite every single one of them going badly.
Yes. And it does feel a little bit like she is trying to replace Rex in this moment without realizing. And Andrew, I think, is right to have that kind of rejection of the replacement. So Andrew says he's not going. Bree decides to blackmail him with the fee for his swim club meet.
Yes, and when Andrew sort of questions this, she delivers my quote of the week.
Oh, is it this one? I love this line.
It's when she looks at Andrew and says, "Oh, you don't know the lens I'd go to for even seating."
Which, fantastic line.
Just so true to Bree.
But why on earth does she allow the two children to sit on the same side of the table then? Really
Tradition.
bothers me. Really gets me.
Oh.
The next scene, very weird.
Yes, the next scene kind of sums up my thoughts on it.
Okay.
So next scene. So I would really describe this scene as the climax of the episode, even though it comes kind of halfway through the episode. And by climax of the episode, I mean that in more ways than one.
I was going to say, yeah. You saying climax tickled me there. At the dinner, have you the opening shot? I couldn't tell if it was my television.
Didn't look like fish?
It looked frozen.
Bree.
It looked fully frozen, and I
no.
expect more from Bree. Please continue.
Well, I'm glad she's not putting full efforts in for George.
Yeah.
So at the dinner, George is finishing telling a story about how people falsely thought he was trying to take his own life, and he's laughing at it way too hard. Andrew awkwardly laughs along, which is polite, but clearly not genuine. I also think it's worth, if memory serves, noting this moment, as I think there might be a little dash of foreshadowing in there, which I've never noticed before. So that was a nice little touch.
I thought that was nice.
We'll get there. Bree is taking plates to the kitchen with Danielle and commenting on how shocked she is that Andrew's polite and engaging with his behavior, laughing at George's jokes, etc. And Danielle agrees because, as she remarks, George's jokes are not funny.
Yes. I think we underestimate, as viewers, and Bree certainly does, how emotionally intelligent Danielle is.
Yeah.
I think she is an observer. She understands people a lot better than Bree does. And in some ways, a lot better than Andrew does.
Yeah.
I think Andrew's problem, and I'll speak about this a little bit more later, actually, he and George both think they're the smartest people in the room.
Yeah, we'll get there. Meanwhile, in the dining room, now that Andrew and George are alone, Andrew starts trying to get under George's skin. He asks George if he is a virgin, and then he goes down that line of questioning. Deeply uncomfortable for George, deeply uncomfortable for the viewers, because it's just so not something he would do. And then he claims that he wants to make sure his mother is with a guy who knows how to please a lady.
He's just being a good son.
Yeah, talking about how
so many incesty vibes in this episode.
Talking about how she had a great sex life with Rex, which famously she did not. George is deeply uncomfortable and really wants Andrew to stop. But then Andrew claims to have heard his parents have sex once and even impersonates Bree's moan of the moment she climaxes. Which is kind of... Do you want to do the moan for us, Aaron?
thanks. It's like a... but I don't think it is.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
George is literally jaw dropped, which I would be too in that situation, quite frankly. Fair reaction. And in this shocked, awkward silence, Bree and Danielle return with dessert. And Bree apologizes for the lack of matching plates because it's a very rare pattern that belonged to her grandmother. That'll be relevant later. And then when Bree takes a bite of the dessert, she makes that exact moan. And Andrew mouths quietly to George, "That's it." And personally, I was relieved in this moment because it made me realize that Andrew was only ever impersonating Bree's enjoying food moans of pleasure.
Yes.
And that this was his plan all along. And it works because George snaps and tells Andrew to go to his room. Oh my God.
It's so good.
And then George wants Bree to back him up, but Andrew's playing the sweet innocent child like, "Mr. Williams, did I say something wrong?
Do you not like me?
I'm just a widow baby.
I'm just a little boy." It's so
Oh my God. And he knows
weird.
full well that George trying to present as a gentleman would never repeat those things in
Yes.
this moment. So he knows he'll get away with it. And the actor for Andrew is so good in this scene because he gives George the most subtle, mischievous smile, even because everyone else is in the room can see him. But it's such a tiny change on his face, but it delivers so much.
I agree.
It's so satisfying. So I was so uncomfortable watching the scene, but by the end of it, I was like, "Get him, Andrew."
And Danielle and her dessert continue to mind their business.
Indeed.
I think this scene, I think Andrew's plan was twofold. One, let's really freak George out, who seems a bit prudish about sex and having sex with Bree. And no matter what, if he tries to initiate sex with Bree, he's going to have this wall up in Andrew's voice in his head. Two, I think reminding George that Rex will always have this place in Bree's heart. And three, by being like, "I heard them and I want my mum with someone who pleases her, blah, 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 blah," kind of putting him off the family in general. And this idea that we were talking about earlier of Rex can't be replaced. He's making sure.
Yeah.
But Bree isn't actually trying to fully replace Rex, which we can see because he is not in Rex's seat at the table.
You got it. But also, that's interesting because I didn't actually consider any of that. My understanding of Andrew's plan was that he was just trying to provoke George into having that kind of angry reaction so that he would look bad in front of Bree by yelling at his kids when they did nothing wrong, supposedly.
I think it's really fair that Bree says to George, "You cannot discipline my child, especially without confirming what he's supposed to be being disciplined for."
Exactly, yeah.
There's a lot. Also, Bree is in dark grey in this scene. Again, not black, but still in the morning bun. Other thing I want to talk about. This is potentially spoilery, but I don't know. No, I'm going to bring it up. It is spoilery. I don't care. I do care very much. Sorry, Desperados. We know for a fact that Andrew is lying about the sex noise because it is later established that Bree has never had an orgasm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big spoilers.
Well, this is why I was like, it's not a spoiler per se, but we have confirmation later on that this is a lie.
Well, I mean, she could still be making noises during sex, even if it's not at the end.
But it was a climax noise in particular that,
that was
Andrew
Andrew's
was referring
interpretation. I don't think Bree would have confirmed that fact to Andrew.
Maybe Andrew was listening at the door, but they were just having a burrito. Like the weird burrito is the other Bree and Rex scene. Okay. Bree and George, subsequently in the next scene, despite having never kissed on the lips, have, I believe, their fourth breakup.
I think every time it is a friendship breakup.
Yeah. George wants to ship Andrew off to Van de Kamp Hennessy again and says that he's very troubled. And Bree says, he'd have to do something very off the rails for that to happen again. Bree, shut your mouth, because clearly George is going to plot the downfall of Andrew now and make Andrew seem more and more out of control. The best observation of this, I think, in this scene is George says, I think Andrew reminds me of a younger me.
Yeah, because it does feel like such a back and forth with them. They're both manipulators.
Yes.
In their own way.
Yes, and they have both seen that in each other, I think.
Yeah.
And this is now two manipulators in competition with each other.
Yes, exactly that. But unfortunately for Andrew, George has had much more experience and is a much more seasoned manipulator.
And even the way he says, do you know, despite everything, I like Andrew. And Bree takes him at his word for that.
As she always fucking does.
Why? It drives me insane.
You know, speaking of glasses and facial wear, get those rose-tinted glasses off, Bree.
Well, that was shade. Get it?
Yeah, I do. I truly do. In our next scene.
We are losing it now. I don't know if you can tell. I wonder if listeners of the pod, can accurately work out where our head's at and also probably what time it is based on how we react to this.
And how much caffeine we've had.
Yeah.
Andrew is preparing to swim at the previously mentioned swim meet with Bree in the audience, but he's distracted when he sees George turn up suddenly to sit next to Bree.
Blech.
George has timed this perfectly, presenting presenting Bree with a quote-unquote with a quote-unquote goodbye gift just as Andrew's race starts, fully distracting her from the race and Andrew too. And George has gotten Bree a matching plate to go with her set that has a very rare pattern. And Bree is shocked and buzzing. So George takes the opportunity to hug her. And then he very forcefully sort of kisses her on the cheek and absolutely will not let go, ensuring that Andrew, who is very distracted from his competition and is kind of watching with every stroke of his swim, sees this happen.
This is really sad to me because I think this is the second time that George has physically done something to Bree that she is clearly not consenting to and doesn't want him to. And Bree is so freaking polite that she does not see it as an issue.
Mm-hmm. And Bree is trying to pull away. But obviously Andrew doesn't see this. So he makes a beeline for them across the pool, blocking other swimmers from the rays, gets out and tackles George. The chaos is reminiscent of the courtroom scene from season 1 finale.
Yeah.
And George, in this scene, returns to Andrew a very subtle smirk, having got him back for the dinner now. Now, Andrew's a child, and George is definitely the villain here. Don't get me wrong. You will never catch me defending George. But as we were saying, it was in this moment that I kind of made the observation that they're both pretty awful, and it's just two manipulators fighting against each other. They're just going toe to toe.
Yes. And I think we as viewers almost forget that Andrew has no idea that George has killed his father.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't know the league that George is in here.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's at the swim meet. George is in the Olympics.
There we go. The Murder Olympics.
So we get our final voiceover saying things I don't really care about fathers.
It starts by saying that we recognize good fathers by seeing everything fall apart in their absence.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was completely irrelevant to the episode. There was nothing around that. It was so out of the blue. That's what I mean about them really trying to force this overarching theme, which just doesn't make sense. The fathers and stuff were so irrelevant. I guess it's probably referring to the Bree storyline since Rex isn't there, but that's not because Rex isn't there. It's because George is that the chaos is happening.
Yes. I mean, it's very... I find the Bree storyline in this episode very Hamlet.
You're going to have to elaborate if you want, because I'm not familiar with it enough.
So, The Lion King.
Yes, okay.
This like rejection of like a new stepfather figure and kind of having to protect the mother from him, and the kind of unspoken haunting of the father around the place. Yeah, it's very Hamlet.
Sure.
We see after the voiceover that Andrew is being shipped off again, to which I say, yikes.
Crazy. He's like just packing a bag and walks out. And it took me a second to be like, wait, is he going back to Camp Hennessy? I was literally shocked.
And he is going what seems like willingly, but I think
Yeah.
he's kind of resigned himself to it at this point. Carlos and Gabby are together again, and he is feeling the complete lack of baby bump. And then Bongo's here.
Well, Bongo is not there, Erin. The demon pretending to be Bongo is there, and Mike, unbeknownst to this, is out walking him.
The artist formerly known as Bongo. The hound formerly known as Bongo. I was crying when I saw him. I really thought, surely now he's gone. Surely now is his last episode.
His last episode was ages ago. This isn't Bongo.
Finally, we see Lynette and Tom in bed, which we've not had for a while. Lynette is very emotional and feels very guilty about getting rid of Mrs. Mulberry, which was clearly a figure. I think her guilt stems from not only returning to work, but getting rid of something that was giving her child comfort.
But this also feels like an overreaction to being sort of out of character for her, because in the last scene, she was so chill seeing Parker devastated after Mulberry was murdered in front of them. Like, she was like, oh, she's gone. This is great. And now she's like fully sobbing in bed. It's not like a little cry. She is sobbing. And I was just like, this feels very random.
Oh, I didn't think it was random. I think she'd had time to process it. And again, she was like, I wanted rid of this thing that was giving my child comfort in my absence. My child had to resort to this imaginary friend, and then I was gleefully getting rid of her. And now I feel guilty about it.
I understand what they're angling. I just didn't buy the size of the reaction for it.
That's fair. But Tom is very comforting and very sweet and very reassuring. And I agree with the sentiment of the final part of the voiceover.
Yes.
You can't be a horrendous partner and a good parent at the same time. I think we've kind of learned this societally. It used to be, he's a great father, but he's just a bad husband. And actually, part of your job is to make the household work. And if you are not or actively working against making the household work, then you are a bad partner and a bad father. Those were my thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah.
But Tom was really great this episode.
He was. I'm excited for the husband rankings.
So obviously, I have something to say about Julie the Vampire Slayer.
Please.
Mrs. Mulberry is my monster of the week. Mrs. Mulberry is real. Julie was driving. Julie the Vampire Slayer was driving and she got rid of Mrs. Mulberry. She saw an opportunity and she took it.
She said, ain't no ghosts in my house.
She said, I ain't afraid of
Not
no
in
ghosts.
my neighborhood.
So,
Incredible.
Mrs. Mulberry is my monster of the week.
Fantastic.
Who is yours?
I just put George, obviously.
Yes, fair.
And who is your worst neighbor, Erin?
Mine was George. Don't go inviting yourself to my child's swim meets, you creep.
I put TBD thinking I'd come up with it on the fly. And now I'm like, what's happened this episode? Because I just don't consider George a neighbor because it's been established he lives out of town. But I think we interpret that segment differently where you're like neighborly behavior.
Yes.
Maybe I'll give it to Edie because her sole purpose is just to cause distress to her neighbor, Susan. But I don't know if I want to do that because Susan's a bitch to her. Maybe I'll give worst neighbor to Susan for finding her neighbor and then encouraging him to leave.
Yes, maybe. That wasn't very neighborly of her.
Shall we talk about the husband?
But first, what you always forget is the outfit of the week.
I think that if I have a notable outfit, I'm flagging it as we go through. And that's not something I say for the end.
Mine is Edie in the pink.
That's fair. Mine would be Gabby with the little glasses in the yellow.
No, that's cute. Okay. My body's rejecting this.
Well, we'll save him for last.
Okay.
Mike for me is his classic beige
5.
5. Yeah.
I've got 5 brackets lol.
Brackets, lol, that's important.
Carlos, I gave a 6.
I also put 6. I was just like, he's not particularly amazing in the sense he gets angry at Gabby in the beginning for inciting the riot, quote unquote, but he's also sort of like reassuring to her about the marriage and stuff later and gets on board. So I kind of was like, well, he did more than Mike did, so I'll bump him up slightly, was my thinking.
Yeah, I thought that too. Kind of the exact same logic.
How high are you willing to go?
I've given him an 8 or 9.
Let's do 9. Fuck
I was
it.
thinking that he might be an. I think he might be a 9. And
Changed woman.
Desperados, you all know that this is Tom's first. I think it's his first in the top 8, 9, 10 category. This is young Tom Scavo's first entry at 8, 9, and 10.
Aaron's like, don't get used to it.
Do not get used to it. I'm already scared about how it's going to warp the numbers. If anything, it's like messing up all the graphs.
I'm proud of you.
I am not proud of me. I think I'm just an observer. And if Tom continues to be great, I will continue to score him highly. He will not.
As is observed.
As is previously established.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, that was season 2, episode 4.
It sure was.
How did you find that?
The episode or recapping it just now?
Recapping it.
I enjoyed that.
The reason I asked that question is because I found that I enjoyed the episode more having spoken about it.
I think that's always the case because we're hilarious.
Oh yeah, you know, I forget.
Well, we make each other laugh is what I mean
We
by
do
that.
make each
That's
other-
what I really mean by
we do
that.
make each other laugh.
If I have a good time talking about something, I'm going to think fondly of it.
So we received some questions on Spotify, and I think we should answer some of them.
Yeah, in the comments. So if you have any questions of your own, pop them in there.
Yeah,
We
'cause
see them.
we see them, and if we ignore them, you'll know that we didn't want to answer them. Some of these we've addressed a little bit in other episodes, which was what made you want to start the podcast for the show.
Nothing. It was spontaneous.
It was a private joke that went way too far.
Help me.
And somebody said, how did you pick this particular show to do the podcast on?
It's just what we happened to be talking about when the private joke came up.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been a big part of our friendship and lives. Have you listened to Desperately Devoted with Terry Hatcher, aka Susan Meyer?
I personally have not, but I did see a clip recently of Terry talking about how she thinks that Mark Cherry should get a cut of all of Andy Cohen's money for The Real Housewives, and that made me giggle.
I'm the same. I've seen clips, and this kind of feeds into another question they had, which was, have you listened to any of the other Desperate Housewives podcasts? Because we know that they're out there. I am always scared about accidentally absorbing anybody else's kind of format or perspective or seeing what they're doing.
Yeah, we want to do our own original thing. I
Yeah.
think in the beginning when we were seriously like getting into doing this, we each listened to a couple episodes of the other ones just to sort of get a sense of the vibes of other podcasts. But we're certainly not actively listening to them. I don't want to take on their opinions and stuff subconsciously.
Yeah.
It's the same way I don't read movie reviews before I see a movie, because if I read a negative review, I'll go into it and notice all of those things that were pointed out negatively, and that'll be like confirmation bias, like, oh, they're right, it is bad and stuff.
Exactly.
Rather than forming my own opinion.
Yeah, we listened to, I remember really vividly us divvying up a bunch of Desperate Housewives recap podcast pilots.
Yeah.
And talking a little bit about their dynamic, and it kind of started the conversation for us of like, what could we do differently? What's our dynamic like? Is it worth us doing this podcast, or are we going to be regurgitating what other people are doing?
Yeah.
I do think, however, I mean, in 2055, when we finished recapping this show, I think I would go back and listen to all the other ones.
Maybe, yeah. There was one pilot episode, I don't remember which one of the podcasts it was, but I remember they said that if the show was set today, Tom would be a MAGA guy. And that made me laugh so much.
I mean, there is the thing as well where I realize that I'm saying we don't listen to other podcasts, but at the same time, I would love to speak to the hosts of other Desperate Housewives podcasts.
That would be an interesting dynamic.
I would love that.
Especially Terry.
Nah, I want Julie the Vampire Slayer only. Yeah, but that's us. I mean,
Is that all the questions?
those were them. What I did find interesting is our listener Summer has written the following comment, which I do want to talk to you about. Found the ages. Clearly the writers have inconsistent goings on throughout the series.
Which makes sense because if the timeline doesn't work, then the ages also by default won't work.
Season 1, Gabby is 27. Season 8, 41. And the comment goes on and on about various people, various ages. Some of them I'm not going to say because it contains spoilers of people. Carlos.
Yeah, this is the big question mark.
Born the 15th of July, 1971. So it goes Rex, then Mike, then Tom, then Carlos.
Carlos is the youngest.
Carlos is the youngest.
Oh.
I don't know what I think about that.
I think that you were much more invested in the ages than me. I have no opinion. Couldn't care less, quite frankly.
But yeah, thank you so much for submitting questions. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I love engaging with Desperados directly. It is very exciting.
Thank you so much for listening.
We've had a fabulous time.
We sure have. As always,
Stay desperate. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to check out our Instagram for visuals, behind the scenes content, and more.
You can find us by searching for Modded, that's MEWDYD.
Or just search for Mary Alice, What Did You Do?
This podcast is brought to you entirely by us, Erin McGee
and Jakub Tanzi. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to leave us a review. It really helps us out.
Join us next time for another episode of Mary Alice,
What Did You Do?